Hi VC, it's Aaron, Metha Alamere. Today I am going to be showing a bunch of records I've recently picked up. And first of all, I've got a Vclt from a good friend of mine. Now, Steve from All World to Stage sent me this CD a couple days ago. And this is Matt Mays with Once Upon a Hell of a Time. And this is really good. I wanted to wait until I listened to it until I, showed it. So thank you so much, Steve, for this. And it's a gatefold, which is cool. And here's the CD. It's very cool. And like I do with my records, if there's something like this, I put the hype sticker on the inside there. I do that with my vinyl too. And yeah, he sent this to a few people in the vinyl community. And I think it's great. I listened to it. It almost has a Jack White feel to his voice at times. But it's not the same type of music. It's not as guitar driven. But it's still pretty good. Kind of up-tempo. I really like the songs 78s, 33s, and 45s, which is, of course, about records, and Faint of Heart. Those two stood out to me the most from first listen. Now I'm going to throw this back in my car. That's really the only place I listen to CDs. I either listen to Sirius XM in the car or CDs. So I'm going to throw this back out there, give it a few more spins. Thank you so much, Steve. And I'll leave a link to his channel. Check him out. He's got a great channel, does great videos. So check Steve out. So recently, in my town here where I live, I discovered a new record store, a new place to sell records. They sell all kinds of stuff. And I kind of stumbled upon it. I didn't even realize it was here. And they have, they sell all kinds of records. They have new records, a few new ones, not too many, mainly old records. And they're, working ones that they have a big collection. He's working into the store. So I'm going to keep going there and getting them. And they're priced at like $5, $10, $15, and $20 the used stuff. But they're 20% off. So it's really, $4, $8, $12, and $16 for their used records. Unless they're really good ones and they have individual prices on them. And then they also have a whole wall, kind of like I have, only a couple rows of $2 records, which ends up being $1.60 a piece now. So the majority of these are from the $2 section. Everyone's looking through those bins, and I did, and I found a few in there. All the ones I found were, from $4 to $12. I got one $16 one mixed in, but I only got a handful of those. And then I decided to look through the $2 section, which everyone was ignoring. And I'll show you what I got. So I'll start out with the more expensive, expensive ones first. And this isn't in order of expense, but these are the ones I found that were, most of these were either $4 to $8. There's one that was $12 and one $16. But I got the Cars Shake It Up, which is actually an upgrade for me. Heartbeat City, an upgrade copy. These were both $4 records. This one here was the one I paid for $16 for. I know it's only a single, but I don't see this very often. And I got this Depeche Mode Behind the Wheel, which is Behind the Wheel at Route 66 Mega Mix. And it's got like 4 versions of the song. Really cool. And I picked this up from my buddy Jeff Witcher, who's doing a great deep dive on the Depeche Mode stuff right now. And check out his videos. I'll leave a link to Jeff's channel too. So here's the Depeche Mode. And then I found this one for $8. It's Fastway. And what's cool about this, I already had a copy. But this one actually has, if I can find it, this in it, which I've owned this record like multiple times. I've never seen it where it comes with the single. So I'm sure that's fairly common because I know my buddy Gary has that. But I had never personally had a copy with the single, which was really cool. And I didn't even realize that until after I got it. This is actually an upgrade copy for me as well. Another one I got was Uriah Heep with Salisbury, one of the Uriah Heeps I was missing. Love Uriah Heep. This one, oh, that was a $2 one. I better put that one back. Wait till I get to them. Okay, and then this HSAS, it's still in the shrink, near mint. All these records, there's a couple that aren't, almost every single one of them, the vinyl is near mint, even if the covers aren't. But the covers are great too. This was shrink wrapped, near mint. And then these two were upgrades for me. Danger Zone, near mint copy. And in the shrink, VOA, near mint. Mine was really beat up, so I was happy to get a upgrade of that. And then all the rest of these were $1.60 a piece. So first off, I've got a few singles. Two Sides of Love from Sammy Hagar. This is promotional. All these 3 singles are all promo copies. And then Autograph with Loud and Clear. And Don't Stop Running from Y&T with the B-side of Rock and Roll is Gonna Save the World. You see white label promos, and they sound amazing. I've already spun them. Look like they've never been played. Just awesome. Near mint. And now I was really surprised to find this in the cheap bin. And my friend Steve, who I'd mentioned that gave me the VCLT, just talked about this artist. So I was looking for him kind of, and I found 3 of his records, and my God. Rory Gallagher with Top Priority, and this is the only one I played so far, and it totally blew me away. One of the best guitarists I've ever heard. He just instantly, it's like, oh, wow. He kind of reminds me of like a mixture of Stevie Ray Vaughan with Billy Gibbons, but a little more rockin', like raw. It's just really good. I love Rory Gallagher now, and I've got to get all his records. Thank you, Steve. And so I got Top Priority and Blueprint. And also this one here, which is Against the Grain. So now I have 3 Rory Gallagher records. I can't wait to listen to the other 2 because he's an amazing guitarist. Pretty good singer too. Great bands of power trio. Killer stuff. And then this was a cool surprise. I found the first Hooters album, Amore. And this one's really cool because it's got 3 songs from Nervous Night, which are Hanging on a Heartbeat, Blood from a Stone, and All You Zombies. And they all sound totally different than on Nervous Night. So I was happy to find that. And speaking of that, I did pick up another copy of it, $1.60. I couldn't pass it up. One of my favorite records. And also One Way Home, their 3rd record. So got all those. A couple of those are upgrade copies. And I'm trying to build up my, I've got a couple totes full of records that I'm building up to do another purge, maybe in another year. So I'm trying to build up doubles of stuff, upgrade a little. When I find them cheap enough, I'll buy them and then put them in there to purge later on. Now, here's the rest of what I found. Howard Jones, to 1-to-1. Now, a lot of these aren't amazing, but for $1.60, Crimes of Passion from Pat Benatar. And also Precious Time from Pat Benatar. This one was a cool one. This is, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Waita from Split Ends. Got a lot of like pop stuff, like synth pop stuff mixed in with this. There's all kinds of stuff. But this one here I've never seen. This is pretty much a super group. It has Steve Winwood, Jim Capaldi, Dave Mason, Chris Wood, Rich Gretsch, Rebop Kwalba, and Jim Gordon. I said that one name wrong, but I've never even seen this record before. And I have to give that a spin because I know almost all those artists and I love them. This one here, the cover's a bit beat up, but the vinyl is great. This is Venus and Mars, Paul McCartney, and Wings. Just Wings on that one. This one here was in the $1.60 bin. This is It's My Life from Talk Talk. I know Jeff Witcher's a big fan of them. I got Edgar Winter Group, Shock Treatment. Not the best Edgar Winter Group, but that's a good one. And there's a couple, oh, they're kind of mixed in, but Next of Kin. I always pick up Greg Kin when I see him, always. And then here's Steve Winwood, Back in the High Life, Still in the Shrink. This is a pretty cool one. This is Give the People What They Want from the Kinks. You know, I go in there looking, I was thinking, going through the $2 section, thinking it's going to be all just throwaway Goodwill stuff. And then I come up with all this stuff. I was shocked. The Secret of Association from Paul Young. And I got 3 by this group. This is Night Passage from Weather Report. And Sweet Nighter, Weather Report. And then Domino, well, what's this one called? I don't even know. Domino Theory, Weather Report. So I got 3 Weather Report records. Kind of some fusion there. And the last of the singles I got was Take Me to Heart from Quarter Flash. And then this Quarter Flash, which I didn't have. I like Quarter Flash from my hometown of Portland, Oregon. And then here's some Animotion. This one here is a great record. This is Legs Diamond with Firepower. And then Paper Money from Montrose. The vinyl's near mint on this. One of my all-time favorites. I love him. Aldo Nova. Love that record. I pick that up if I see it for cheap every time. This was a cool one here. This is Zebra's debut, which I didn't have. It's got some writing on it, but I didn't have it, so there we go. Here's the other Greg Ken, Conspiracy. One with Jeopardy on it. Awesome album. And I actually picked up, I only brought one here, but I picked up 2 copies of this. Not Shy from Walter Egan, one of my favorite unknown, lesser-known records of the 70s. Love that album. Beat the System from Petra. Found some Petra in there. I couldn't believe it. Reach the Beach from The Fix. Has Less Than... One Thing Leads to Another and Saved by Zero, both on that album, which I didn't have. I have both those singles, but not the album. My first album by this band, and I know a lot of people in the VC like them, this is Behavior from Saga. And then Eye of the Hurricane from The Alarm. Here's a good one here. This is Rhyme and Reason, Missing Persons, very underrated band. And then these are blind buys, a lot of these here. This one here is Eurogliders with This Island. So if anyone knows anything about these, I think they're synth pop bands, let me know. Dreams So Real. And we got some Pseudo Echo. And Fatal Flowers. This is Beatnik Beach. And those were pretty much the blind buys. Then also, here's a great one here. This is, what's the name of it? Infinity Dreams, Robin Trower. No, In City Dreams. I was trying to read the spine. And then we got some Animotion. Huey Lewis and the News Sports. Never pass that up for cheap. Great album. Peter Wolf with Lights Out. Love that song. Of course, he's from the J. Giles Band. Glenn Frey with The All Nighter. I didn't have this one, so that's cool. Smuggler's Blues is on that. And then we got some, what the hell's the name of this one? It's The Myths and, you'll know it if you know it. Rick Wakeman. Hard to read that. And then this one's still in the shrink, near mint copy of Animal Grace from April Wine. I was missing this one. And we got some Trooper, Thick as Thieves. Love Trooper. So I think that's my 4th Trooper record. Crash from the Human League. Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me. And I'll finish it out with 2 more. And this one, I'm just going to VCLT it to whoever wants it. Still in the shrink, near mint. Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma. Michael Nesmith, not my favorite in the world, but I bought it for $1.60. And then, Life for the Taking. I was missing this, Eddie Money. So, there we go. And, you know, I just couldn't pass those records up for that price. Got some cool stuff and a lot of upgrades. And some, you know, I'm going to keep going back there and seeing what they have because they're going to keep adding into there. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.